Let's see. I don't even know what I want to play, but you know what? We are back, C.D.B style. Let's go here. Why not? You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
Trying to tell them, yo. C.D.B podcast, C.D.B network, C.D.B.
Okay, set it off. I'ma do the damn thing. Put my name on my gang, on my goddamn chain. To a rich nigga, you a goddamn lame. To a broke nigga, you a goddamn stain. Man, let me wipe the blood off my Nikes. Hey, man, let me wipe the blood off my Nikes.
Damn,
ay,
son,
man,
where'd you find
let me wipe
this?
the blood off my Nikes. Hey, man,
This
let
is
me
a
wipe the blood
certified
off my
hood
Nikes.
classic.
Ay, man, how the fuck you get all your bread took? I'm a real nigga, leave a trail full of dead crooks. I prefer to snitch, you the type to make the feds look. I can make a sham shook, that chopper scene like Sam Cook. Change gon' come with this drum, please don't get involved.
Hey, I'm the Shogun. You already know what time it is, man. Listen, C.D.B podcast back once again. Back again, as my man Truth says. All right, Denzel, you gotta relax, bro. You gotta relax. Listen, I might get you back up on stage in just a second. Chill out for me, please. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, kids of all ages, I am A-Hun, the #1 Shogun. I know y'all are so tired of seeing my face, but guess what? I don't care. We are here. We are doing things, and I am here joined by a special guest. This is a episode. It's been a long time coming of the C.D.B podcast. You dig what I'm saying? Episode 58, I believe. Welcome back, y'all. Welcome back. You know what I'm saying? Reggae air horns, please jump in the chat if you would. You know what I'm saying? I'm so excited. Now, you know what? Let's just go ahead and christen this. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before I introduce you to my friend and guest today, I'm just going to give her the full podcast experience because this is her first time on the network with us.
Am I the neatest? Sure enough. Am I the prettiest? Sure enough. Am I the baddest mofo low down around this town? Sure enough. But who am I? Sure enough. Who am I? Sure enough. I can't hear you. Sure enough. Shogun.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, kids of all ages. I am A-Hun, the #1 Shogun in the building with Gang Them. Dig what I'm saying? #1 rule in the universe: always protect your neck at all times. Otherwise, I come through with the guillotine, chopping shit clean. You know what the fuck I mean? One Punch Man with the stand next to the Yucatan liquor stand. You was outside for the 99 and 2000s. You already understand. I was out here bagging aunties on accident. I apologize in advance. Sorry, not sorry. The boy, Pablo Baldini, slide tackling niggas into the 4th row. Listen, sir, I got all ball. You do not need to make a call. Pele with the AK, letting the whole thing spray. Listen, dropping bombs from outside the 18, put them in the upper 90 because that's where I like to put them bitches. Double entendre. Please do not ask me how I fucking do it because I couldn't tell you. It's just magic. I was born like this. You dig what I'm saying? Let's see who else is in the building with me. I gotta get all of my personalities up out of the box so she knows what she's dealing with here. Okay, Master Bruce with the bubble goose, letting all this shit get loose. I got the nunchucks in the back pocket. Please do not make me pull them. Otherwise, I will get you to pop, lock, and drop it. You dig what I'm saying? The Hotep Hibachi chef always got the grill on high, letting all this shit fly. You already know why, because y'all niggas always be out here lying. Dirt Reynolds pulling up on your auntie from I-75. Listen, she said she needed to ride, and she got banned from Uber because she kept recharging the money back on the same ride. I can't help that. But I'm just out here to help her out. It's your boy Flex Luger putting aunties in the torture rack trying to crack their back because they said I look like a whole snack. But ladies, I can't anymore. I am spoken for. The only thing that's getting put in the figure 4 is my lady. That's what I mean. You dig what I'm saying? Captain Jack Sparrow, no hose. This is Shogun Swashbuckler of the high seas. You dig what I'm saying? All the rum is gone. And as always, it's your boy Spacey Sparky, getting high up in the cosmos. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the reigning 336-time heavyweight champion of the world, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's that man. It's Timothy. You better know and love him as Petty Guerrero. All right, then. Yeah. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you may have heard this voice in the background, hyping me the fuck up. No, this is not someone that I paid to do that. This is my good friend, a lovely young lady I had a chance to meet through a mutual friend, and we had a very good conversation. You know, had a lot of conversation in regards to like her aspirations, what we wanted to do. So I figured it would be very fitting to have her join me as a guest on the newest episode of the C.D.B podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would put your hands together for the lovely Lala. You know what I'm saying? Now, first and foremost, you know what I'm saying? Air horns in the fucking chat. Gunshots. Now, y'all might be thinking, oh shit, he got Lala. Now listen.
You need to be medicated.
Nah, I ain't even gonna say nothing. We just gonna rock, man. My dear, how are you?
I am good. I am good. Let's favorites.
I am so glad to hear it. Holy shit, man, my stomach hurts. So welcome to the C.D.B podcast, C.D.B network. Ma'am, there are so many things that we can chat about, topics to discuss. And you know, we've had a chance to talk a little bit, you know, backstage and so on and so forth. So how are you? What's been going on with you, and what brings you into the network? What brings you here?
Well, apparently I have an affinity for crazy motherfuckers. But nah, I just, you know, to say. So, you know, what better platform to do it on than with the lovely A-Hunt.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? Gang in this bitch. Gunshots. You know what I'm saying? Listen, don't tell me to, you know, out here, motherfucker. Anyways,
hyping you up.
I promise y'all, I did not pay her to come on to hype me up. I promise. But I appreciate that. So anytime y'all come on, y'all just know bars being set high.
Yeah, okay.
Oh shit. Okay. So let's get into some topics, right? Because there's a bunch of stuff that's been going on. If you guys are not familiar or haven't, it's been a while since you've tuned in or we've had a C.D.B podcast. Think about us like, you know what I'm saying? Think about us like Sports Center for the culture, right? We're talking about all things across the board. It can be political, it can be music, it can be a myriad of things. Listen, I ain't even started this off right, like for real, to get Larissa hype. Because you know what? There's so many pods that we do here, and I apologize because I definitely am not doing you the right service. So here's how I'm gonna get you together. You know,
you're gonna get me hype. You gonna be my hype.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? Episode 58. C.D.B.
I'm still cooling with my right hand on the same old block in the same old seat.
You hyping me up. You doing a bad job. You doing a bad job.
Get busy,
Oh,
my boys were
no,
flying
man.
up. Bubble with
Oh,
real
no.
helicopters flying up.
Oh,
Tall road
no.
chill ends hot like a frying pan. Do a mad thing, go home and switch clothes. Hit and make it beat like Diplo. She a good girl, we just turned her nympho. Bad little vibe, pink pussy and pink toes. Now she got white in her hair like Cisco. Flashing lights, I ain't talking no disco. Boys in blue, cause the feds did the sweep. To my boys from the streets, can't wait till they get home. Money I speak, I'm counting up currency. BTC, Superman,
I'm clicking over
that's
here.
my dog, he do it for me, I do it for him. That's how this shit goes. Your favorite rappers ask me on lip those. Got them all sour like citrus. Lip gloss, she don't wear lipstick. All I'm doing no stick shift. Do it like supper and eat it up. I put the BM in sport while my dick's in a jaw. Do it just like a gunner and speed it up. Got mirror in their face when we step in the place. Man, he ain't gonna do shit, he ain't mean enough. Fuck the fame, bring the money, I don't know Amelia. Remember them days, the women weren't feeling us. Now they all want to get familiar.
Man, listen, I'm trying to tell y'all we out here doing a
We in the
whole
street.
bunch of stuff.
We in the street.
I'm trying to really pull y'all into like the world that I'm in.
Talk to him.
Go ahead,
Look,
Joe.
Peter Pan to these lost boys, they follow me. Keep a heap of heat for those who creep with no apologies. Speak for those who seek to be at peace with the Wahala be. Found peace inside monogamy, you peeking at the prophecy. Look, I am the one filled with Halle, but from where they ball and parlay round my whole city. On guard, I seen shell flying broad day, had me laying prostrate, thank Yahweh ain't none hit me. Fat just had my son indeed, but a small catch is that I've had sons just not out my ball sack. Fall back, I be appalled that all that I've done for my sons don't get wall plaques. Look, I should walk up in the room and see up on the wall, greatest father figure of them all. Not because I'm cold and I need a thaw. On my southern drawl, I should get applause for the fact I father every one of y'all, literally. Yeah,
Listen,
don't belittle
I'm
me.
trying to tell
Put your
y'all
hands together, say a
something.
prayer, player. Don't forget to
This
mention
is
me.
where the master
Thank Yah
class
that he
came
sent for me,
from.
and I'll continue to have empathy for all my mini-me's.
Don't play
Yeah,
with me.
you my mini-me.
Trying to tell y'all.
Yeah, you my mini-me. Yeah, you my mini-me. Nah, yeah, you are my mini-me. You are my
Don't play
mini-me.
with me. 800 Shogun, you already know what time it is. I got gang in the building. Y'all keep trying to play with me, trying to tell y'all anything
Don't
out
play
here
with 'em.
is a repeat of what the fuck we've been doing over here. Keep playing with us. You know what I'm saying? Listen, we're about to hoop on all you niggas for the rest of the year. Going out here, I'm getting all the rings. World Cups, championships, world titles, everything. Need all
On my
that
Irvin
shit.
Magic Johnson, I'm enterprising. I keep it ghetto like the hood before they gentrified
all
it.
of
I
y'all
might
to
burn this
understand
bitch
what
down,
time it
left eye Andre rising. I can't
DJ,
trust you
where
built
the
for
hell-
Cuban links unless we tied in. Shout to Ray and Ghost. Can it be all so simple? One of my
He
favorite
sing a little
quotes
bit.
from 42nd Street. Days of
sing a
Pips
little
wearing
bit.
suede loafs. That McDonald's is still there where we had to trade blows. Then I stood on stages, Australia on occasion, country club, house of blues, stadium status, hands waving, hip hop 50
Man,
celebration.
listen.
Funny, we the same age and we just keep on getting iller.
Trying to
Word the
tell y'all
heavy,
what's
word the
happening. You know
diller.
what? Might even have to
Word
get
the
more Primo Rice in here too, just cause, you know what I'm saying? Just to get y'all together. Now that I got y'all super hyped, we gonna get into these topics.
Out with the old hoes and with the new. I clean house, fresh game,
Okay,
had a switch
smoking-
up a few. Bounced out the lack with a bitch in the back and got 2 fat gazelles that'll hit on the track. Spice up your life, may hike up the price. If you got real
Okay.
dough, they probably stand tonight. I miss the rice, I got great advice for
You don't got
hoes
the
and
move.
bank
You don't
rolls
got
and
the move.
champagne
no.
with ice.
Listen,
Chill up on
that
Sundays
old
with a
uncle,
mimosa
you know what I'm
with my
saying?
5-star
I'm sitting in a
thing. The
chair, I
bottom
can't
of
do
the
nothing
coast,
with
the
my
host
arms.
with the
I
most.
can't
The
do
God,
too
the
much up
pimp,
here
go put my
with the
heart
shoulder
on wax
rocks.
and
If a
keep
nigga's
fly ass
doing all
clothes,
this,
flash shit. I ain't
doing
no
all
knockoff
Destiny
nigga, I'm
shit,
top
it's too
shelf.
much
Keep a
happening.
foot in the
You
hood,
doing that
get
in the
niggas
jail,
knowledge
sir?
of knowledge
Your
of well.
back
Guns in the
is
butter,
a little
pimping
too
your main
flexible
lever,
for
kicking
my
game real
taste.
raw, but
That's all
always
I'm
wearing the
saying.
rubber for
Dig.
the fly. Super fly shit. World's greatest. Better know
Goofy as
something.
shit.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Now that we've done that, we've gotten you. Now that we're here, we're calm and collected. Let's get into these topics. I know there's a ton of things that I like to do, but this is how I like to bring in our topics. Okay. You know what I mean? All right, then. First and foremost, rest in peace to a couple folks. First, we want to say rest in peace to Sinéad O'Connor, died at the age of 56. If you're not familiar with this woman, singer, songwriter, activist, sang Smash It, which was written by Prince. You know what I'm saying? Nothing compares to you. But you gotta have like some special, you know what I'm saying, like gravitas to have a song written by Prince.
For sure. And most people don't know that she's actually Irish.
Just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think a lot of times too, and I hate to see this, but I really do like a lot of the stances that she took, especially for like women's rights, not only like around the globe, but especially in like native, Ireland, and to be able to talk about like equal rights on a myriad of topics, and be a really big proponent of not only just women, but also like people of color too. And having had worked with artists like Prince, I'm sure that had some huge impact, on like them working together, and not saying that it was before or after, I think is what I'm trying to get at. So, having worked with Prince, I'm sure that there are a lot of ideals that they shared, and he was very outspoken, especially for like artists, writers, everything like that. So I really want to say that the one thing that Prince did where he wrote on the side of his face, I think she did that too.
She did it a couple times. I remember she shaved like this group or something, like their symbol into her head at one point. I think part of the fact that the reason why she's so legendary is because she was doing this during a time like before social media. It was before technically socially acceptable to, no one was really standing up for gay people back then. No one was really standing up for minorities back then. So, she definitely set a trend.
Yeah, and I think also too, part of the reason why, and what you maybe had mentioned, is like why she shaved her head was because of like the image that they wanted her to portray. So she was like, nah, I'm just gonna shave my head so you can't, like, it's not going to matter. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that was the thing with like her, and part of the reason why you saw in the way that she acted is like, you're not going to dictate how I'm going to move in my artistry.
Exactly. Right? She did not want to be put in a box.
Not at all.
Not want to be put in a box.
So rest in peace to her, but true inspiration. And also the fact that like a lot of folks, when I say rest in peace, it's more so in memoriam, but I think a lot of times too is to bring awareness to those that might not be familiar with certain individuals. So if you are not familiar with Sinéad O'Connor, please go back, listen to her catalog, look up a lot of the things that she has done away from the music industry, but also the impact that she had on the music industry too. So rest in peace to her. Also,
rest in peace.
While we are here in rest in peace, right? I do want to say rest in peace to Paul Reubens, aka, as many of you know him, Pee Wee Herman. Paul Reubens passed away after, I think, a bout with cancer. I don't know specifically which, but it was a private battle that he went through, and eventually just end up losing that battle. So for those of us that were around when Pee-wee's Playhouse, Pee-wee's Big Adventure,
it was the shit.
Yo, seriously, if you grew up in the 80s or you were born in the 80s, grew up in the mid to late 80s, all about Pee-wee's Playhouse. You're familiar with Lawrence Fishburne got his first start on Pee-wee's Playhouse, which most people don't even remember. So
I did not know that. I did not know that.
Yeah. What was the black cowboy? The black cowboy that was on Pee-wee's Playhouse is Lawrence Fishburne. And
really?
Yes, I kid you not. And it fucking, I just remember, I don't know why I know this useless information, but the fact that like I just got so excited watching Pee-wee's Playhouse, it was hilarious. And to then watch Pee-wee's Big Adventure, man, like he's such a good actor too. And it's not just the Pee-wee part, yo. Like, of course they tried to kill him, you know what I'm saying? He did some, everybody falls a little bit from grace, but like his comeback was amazing. And not only that, was the fact that like he was such a great actor in movies like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which most people don't even remember. He was hilarious in that. But he was also in Blow, and he was a really good actor in that. He was a great actor. I think he got a supporting actor nomination for either a Golden Globe or I want to say he got it either for a Golden Globe or an Oscar or something like that.
One of them.
Long story less long. You know what I'm saying? So rest in peace.
I mean, I always respect people who go through like, I mean, the situation just kind of reminded me of like Chadwick Boseman.
Absolutely.
A private battle. So you know what I mean? Like I respect. It's like giving a newfound respect for someone when they not suffer in silence, but they don't want sympathy. They don't want to be remembered as the sick person or the person who wanted sympathy, or they want to be known as the person they were before cancer.
Right. Straight up. So rest in peace to you, Paul Reubens. Man, I'm gonna go back and watch some Pee-wee's Playhouse later on this evening.
Are you really?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, that sucks, man. So you know what? Let me find something to get us out of a funk, yo. I need some Ghostface. Yeah, why not? Ghostface, can you do some Beat the Clock? That'd be nice. Thanks, Ghostface. I would be greatly appreciative of you if you could do that. This nigga, man, niggas from Wu-Tang don't never want to listen to shit. Like, never.
Niggas is rebellious.
Yeah, it's fuck, dude. Like, bro, what are we doing? Like, all I need you to do is just like holler for one time and one time only. But here you go, wanting to fuck around, not wanting to play what I want to play. It's cool, Ghostface. I don't fuck with you.
Ain't fucking with you like that.
Damn, on some nigga shit. That's crazy. But anyways, before we end up getting out of here, you know what? I might. Let's see. We're just gonna play some. Yeah, why not?
Solo para decirte lo mucho que lo siento.
Little Bad Bunny.
Que si me ven con otra en una disco solo es perdiendo el tiempo. Baby, pa' que te miento.
Used to.
Eso de que me vieron feliz no es cierto. Ya nada me hace reír. Solo cuando veo las fotos y los videos que tengo de ti.
Really
salí con otra para olvidarte y tenía el perfume que te gusta a ti. Prendo para irme a dormir, porque duermo mejor si sueño que estás aquí. Si supieras que te escribí, te he mandado los mensajes y
we're gonna switch it up a little bit though. And this is gonna help us get out of this weird mood. You know, mortality is a crazy thing for people to think about. So if you could, ladies and gentlemen, as we continue this audio odyssey, make sure that you go tell the people while they are here that you love them and you appreciate them as much as humanly possible. Otherwise,
yep.
Because
you never know.
Never know.
day, this shit is out of control. I'm driving through hell and I done brought snow. It's shining in here and I done brought gold. I hear the sirens right out the chateau. Run me the info.
Is that new Travis?
Trying to hit what you did, now how you came close. Cause I get bobblehead like I done made pro. I made Italian bread like I done made dough. I be all around the map. Write a show by myself like I'm Chelsea Handler. Or write a series by my bitches like I'm Kelsey Grammer. Nickname the Jet Jayhawk cause it's out of Kansas. You know it's more than in my talk, I'm in my Esperanza. You know it's lemon water while we gotta fill the stanza. Slaps in the anthems, poetic justice, I got you in all my stanzas. With your model stances, you everything I know about it. Know about it, 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 know about it.
You know what I'm saying? Listen.
Okay, I might have to give it a listen there. I'm gonna give it a listen.
It's super fire. So while we're here and we're talking about Travis, I think it's an interesting album. I know that you said you haven't listened to it. I actually got our mutual friend Josh, sat with him and like we just listened to it straight through, just off of like a first drop, and I was pretty impressed with it. It does give me a lot of like Kanye, like again, I can see how like artists being around each other utilize each other's sounds. Some people were saying it's a mix between like Rodeo and I can't really think about the other
Astro World.
No, not necessarily Astro World, but it's like I don't know. It's very rangy for me. It gives you Yeezus feel to certain people. I've gotten maybe some like I don't know. Maybe thought about like Life of Pablo a little bit.
Oh, okay.
I can, but I'm not saying like this in its entirety. It's just more like I can see where there's references from these different albums and where they snatch and grab that sound from.
Okay. Do you think a little bit, not off topic, still Travis Scott related, but so it's like recently people are still suing him for the music festival. So question, do you think it's the artist's responsibility when that happens? Or do you think it's just shit happens type of thing?
I think it's a myriad. That's a really good question. I think it's a myriad of things that would play its part, right? So the artist, I think, could be held liable in the event that they were either inciting a riot or like panic or something like that. People are more so killing him for the fact that he didn't stop the event or something like that, or know what was going on or like what was happening. And you know, what's not clear is just the fact of like the lines of communication to him.
Okay.
So I can't tell you like what was going into like his ear, what wasn't. I don't know if he was taking like, because you know how some performers will have like particular earphones, and then that way it's for them either to like hear music or whatever the case may be. So
I mean, to give him credit, back from my days acting, I know that like if there's certain lights shining on you, like spotlights and things like that, you can't
see it.
The crowd. You can't even really see the crowd. So
not at all. And I remember I did stand-up comedy, and like it wasn't that I didn't do that, but it was just like I couldn't see when it was like my time to come off stage. And it was like, yo, those you know, so it dragged a bit, but I caught it. But it was just the fact that like you legit, when you're up there, you can't see nothing. And they were trying to flash a blue light. And I was like, bro, there's no way I could even see that with my glasses. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily think that. I don't know if he's a part of like the like festival goers were also liable, the ones that like didn't pay and wanted the bum rush to just get into the festival, right? Because it was like, you know, fear of missing out, type deal. So it's like, it is what it is. They just got to deal with it.
His music, I mean, I definitely think his music causes people to act a certain way. I will say that. I will say that. I mean, this goes into the next thing we were kind of going to talk about, how like his concert got canceled in Egypt because of the quote unquote demonic aspects of it.
Yeah, and see, that's a funny thing. So like, I think he even has a verse on Utopia where you know, it's like he references people thinking that his music is demonic, and he's like just laughs at it. So even then it makes me think that like he understands what's going on, and he knows what's happening. So for you not to be able to play a festival, or excuse me, because he wanted to do an album release party in front of the
guys of Pyramids.
Yeah. So it's just like, what?
I mean, like, but the people take their religion seriously.
Well, it's like,
that
okay, then what is it that you all are practicing, or what have you seen that makes you think that like his stage, it's more like, to me, from, if you look at buildup of like what he's done, so from like his, like, I think the Astro World tour, he even did like his presentation with like Fortnite, so he did like a 3D thing, and it would look crazy. Like the Fortnite thing was nuts, and a buddy of mine went viral just strictly off of sharing a snippet of what that looked like at just on a particular time frame. And I was like, wait, what? He was like, yeah, my mentions went absolutely stupid because people that didn't play Fortnite but were fans of Travis Scott wanted to see it. So the fact that I recorded it and uploaded it as quickly as I did, yeah, everybody was all about it. I think it's so for that, I think maybe they overreacted.
Maybe a tad bit. But I mean, it's Egypt. You know what I mean? Like they have their beliefs. And I mean, like,
oh man, if they don't shut the fuck up. Listen, first of all, Egypt, y'all have, like, if we talking about anything desecrating the pyramids, it's all of Europe stealing all your shit and then putting it in all their museums, the British Museum, and like all the sarcophagus or guy or whatever you call him, sarcophagi, everybody, all your people is all dug up and shit on display, laid out in some old Teas and Crumpets museum. But you want to talk about Travis Scott as if him playing in front of your pyramids, which ain't getting no play right now, okay? They shooting all your shit, revising all your history, painting it to make it look and seem as if all the people that come from Egypt are white passing. If y'all don't get the fuck out of my face,
damn,
like I said,
tell them how you really feel. Tell them how
stop it.
Why you cussing people out like that?
Worried about what this man doing. Should have let him play in front of that. Board of Tourism would have went insane, nigga. Meanwhile, you talking about this will desecrate the pyramids. No, the white people that dug up all the shit and took your homeboys out. You know, the nigga Tutankhamun or what other burnt all your shit down. Who shot the nose off of the Sphinx, Payne? You know what I'm saying? Like, talk to me. Let me know something.
You ain't lying. You ain't lying. You ain't lying. You spit some facts.
I just want to know what's desecrating Egypt more.
You spitting some facts.
But I digress.
I'm gonna give you that.
How do you feel? What are your thoughts?
I mean, I kind of feel, I don't know. I see both sides. You know, I like to play devil's advocate sometimes, but I don't know. I see both sides.
Okay.
I see how, because to be quite honest, I have seen some imagery from like his music videos and concerts that could be interpreted as a little bit demonic. So I get that point. I get that aspect. But I mean, like you said, I don't think it would have been any more fucking worse than letting fucking archaeologists come out there and dig all that shit up and destroy it. Like, you know what I mean? If you can't pick and choose,
right.
If it's sacred at one time, it has to be sacred at the other times too. But
absolutely. And that's where it's like, all right, like roll eyes, bombastic side eye looks, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, okay, cool, I guess. But I think his album's pretty good. That's probably the one that I've been listening to the most. I know that also Post Malone dropped an album. I've basically just been sitting with like albums that have dropped early on in the spring. So I went back and listened to Killer Mike's album called Michael. So I've been going back to that. Trying to think. Nas, Magic 2. Trying to think, is there anybody else? Yeah, those are probably
the new albums. I'm a barb, soda barb. I'm not ashamed of it. Nicki's album, Pink Friday 2, is coming out in November.
Oh, okay.
Get ready.
I was gonna say, I feel like her rollout is crazy because if I'm not mistaken, she's got like a Call of Duty skin.
She does. So they're celebrating like the 50 years of hip hop or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, so have you seen it?
It looks all right. I personally wouldn't play with it. Because listen, I know how niggas be thinking. Where if you play with a female avatar, they think and assume that you are a female. Like, nah, my nigga,
True.
like that's the skin that I'm using on this board. But so that's why I've never played with a female avatar, because I know how niggas be on the internets and in the chat lobbies, in the games, anything like that. I'm always dressed in some kung fu shit. That's it.
You ain't no ninja?
Man, listen. What cannot be told, it does not need to be explained.
But no, I can't wait for the album. I'm ready.
Okay.
That's the one I'm looking forward to the most. Also, do you listen to Party Next Door?
I heard that a little bit. I do like Party. I just didn't know if there's a new Party album coming.
It's coming out in like a couple weeks, I want to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Right. Another artist that probably sounds similar to somebody else, but you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be looking forward to it. If it's got some slaps on it, send it to me, man. Send me the slap straight up.
It's Party, man. Come on. It's Party.
Okay. Anybody else in music that either has dropped music or does have music coming out? I don't really know. Trying to think, is there anybody else that I'm like keen on looking music from? I'm sure Toby and Gwenye is probably going to drop another song or EP or something with him and his wife, so I'm going to be looking forward to that. Listen, I'm a big hip hop head, so that's pretty much what I'm listening to. Also, I'm going to be looking forward to see if like Super Av, it's a producer off the East Coast, does EDM, but also plays like some trappy shit too. I'm looking forward to seeing him. I know he's touring right now, so that's the only other thing in my musical catalog, at least at the current moment.
Okay, I mean that's a decent little list though.
You know what I mean? You got any shows you're going to? Have you been to any?
So I'm going to Drake concerts. What?
All right. No, nothing. Listen, Drake's been making headlines because he's making girls famous for throwing
their bras on stage.
Man,
I'm next up. Okay.
Wow.
It's 32G up there. Okay. It's getting thrown up there. Okay.
Damn, she done already sold herself. Yeah, I'm throwing it. Yes. Yes. Watch how close I am. I'm going to throw it. It's going to have a little weight to it, too.
For real. You don't be sweating a little bit.
Oh, my goodness.
What? You gotta smell the pheromones, baby. You gotta smell the pheromones.
I didn't even know. Yo, I didn't even think about that. All right. So, and I gotta, this is shout out to my co-host on the Sucio Boys podcast. And it's funny because we were talking about Drake and like women throwing clothes or bras and things like that up on stage. And I was like, yo, a dude can't do that. A dude can't just throw his, like, you know what I'm saying, his meat trap and then just throw his drawers up on stage.
That's true.
Like,
that's true.
Like, nah, nigga,
that's true.
I need her to see what's going on in these boxer briefs, my nigga. Like, yo,
look, I gotta get creative, man. Everybody throwing bras. I gotta find something else to throw.
Oh my goodness.
I gotta find something else to throw.
Don't throw a phone because you might get escorted. People are doing that. Don't ask me why. Maybe they're wanting the artist to interact with their phone, or like record something, but it's like, then how you gonna get it back?
Exactly. And
like,
I mean, look at people's faces up. Who's
like yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, whose phone is this? Like, yeah, that's me. No, it's not your phone. Like, no, I promise, I know the code. Like, you know how many people are gonna be screaming to get that Drake phone with Drake in it?
Got any suggestions? What should I throw on stage then?
Oh my goodness, I don't even know. Listen, I don't know too many people that ever go wrong with things that he might want, like maybe a bag of weed or some edibles, you know what I'm saying? With like a number or something, you know, be like, hey, there's a number inside, and then put a sticker over top of it with your number. I don't know what's happening, but I know you're spoken for, so you can be like, hey, I would love to hang out. Who you going with? Who you going with? Let me ask that question.
Yeah, I'm going with, yeah.
Okay. See, I don't know if I can neither confirm nor deny that I can ask this question. That's the reason why it is very flat in regards to how I ask this question.
But he already know what's he already know. I don't already know him.
Oh man, that's your
like
that's
you
your hall pass.
It's a wrap.
That's your hall pass.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dang. And y'all going to the no. See, this is why I really don't know if I can go with my girl. And it's like somebody, because listen, I've been in and around certain spaces where it's like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I'll be like, naturally, I would just be either side stage or something like that. Just because of like friends in the industry, right? So it would be a possibility. And plus, like, I got to a certain point where it's like, yo, I don't feel like paying for shit. If I know and my friends work in music, yeah, I would love to hang outside stage. What do you need, bro? You need us to help you with something? Cool. Does that mean I get a little lanyard? Tight. I can do it. Let me get a press pass. Don't care, bro. Do not care. Whatever I got to do. So, like, if I find out that my lady might get next to her hall pass, cool. You know what? Nah. Just know the ride back, you're going to have to catch an Uber. You're going to be, just know all your stuff will be outside. Like, what happened? Y'all, listen, if y'all don't understand what was going on with Keke Palmer now.
Oh.
Yeah.
And her baby daddy got real salty.
Look, had her covered
real
up.
salty.
Well, here's what I'm saying. Cool. Just don't have your booty meat all out. One, don't be respectful of me like you would want me to be for you. So
that's fair.
If you don't want me out here talking to all these bitches and all this other shit, you know what I'm saying? No.
But it's Usher though.
It don't matter.
Usher though.
Oh, okay. You just want to. And Usher, y'all see, you seen what he did? Like, oh shit. He was like, let me see something. All right, okay. Nah, nope, no, no, ma'am, no, ma'am. Just
but it's
politely understand that your things will be outside and available to you to pick up, and your belongings will be present.
Hey, Kiki don't care. She get Usher to buy her all new shit.
That's true. That's true. Hey, listen, and just because she might be a headache, Kiki might actually be a headache for real. Like my nigga, don't let it fool you. You know how what y'all say out here with the dudes that y'all stop fucking with, but you somehow selected and chose that man. But you know, after you don't fuck with him no more, go ahead, bitch. You can have him. That nigga ain't shit. No way. Right? She can possibly be the same ain't shit person either. And we might have just gotten a glimpse. Okay. That's all I'm saying. I just give it food for thought. Equality. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Equality. It ain't shit equality. That's what. There we go.
Ain't shit equality. I like that. I'm gonna put that on a t-shirt.
There you go. Might be the title of this podcast. Ain't shit equality. Ha! Yeah, double entendre. Don't even ask me how I did that. Anyways, so yeah. Let's keep it pushing though. Order in the court. Thank you, appreciate it. All right, bailiff. What's up on the docket? Speaking of, you know what I'm saying? Niggas from outer space, i.e. Travis Scott and all types of shit. It does make me feel like I was in outer space when I was listening to his podcast, by the way. Ma'am, you brought this up to me, and then I pleasantly forgot, but also remembered that like in Congress they had a hearing, right? And there was a motherfucker on like under oath that told us about UFOs. And wait, what y'all call them?
UAPs now.
What is that?
I think it's unidentified aerial projection. Sounds about right?
It's something, you know what? Listen, we got the internet sitting right in front of it. Ma'am, I'm gonna ask you to look that up for me while you're here kicking it. But speaking of which, while you do that, if you can do that for me, if you don't mind.
I got you.
The fucking this guy, I don't know what his title is for real. All I know is he was just sitting in front of Matt Getz, and fucking Beavis and Butthead looking ass, the head ass nigga. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, that guy grooming and stalking 18-year-olds, but somehow still sitting on Capitol Hill. I don't want to say nothing. I digress. But he was able to ask questions to this man that I'm still not familiar with. And the man said under oath in front of a congressional hearing that there are UAPs,
unidentified aerial phenomenon.
So UFOs, right?
Not just UFOs though. This
okay.
Possession of two actual non-human bodies.
Oh, right. And it's like we were already here, right? So the consensus, at least from what I've seen, and Lala, you tell me this. The consensus from what I've seen is that like there's just been so much shit happening that like have been like existential crisis on top of existential crisis on top of existential crisis for like the better part, what feels like a decade. Really, if you think about it, like we're only 3 years removed from the pandemic.
I think personally, I think we're on the verge of some shit. I mean, I have a couple of things on it. I feel like the whole disclosure thing was probably meant to distract us from some other shit that's going on.
Right.
But I feel like we are on the verge of like, because I don't know about you, but I've actually fucking seen UFOs. So it's like, I don't think, how much longer can you lie? You know what I mean? Like people are seeing shit with their own eyes. How much longer can you like lie to us or gaslight us? Like shit don't exist.
Right.
Like, I mean, what is the goal of the government? To control its citizens, right? So if they start easing us into it, they'll figure out a way to prevent total fucking chaos from happening when shit actually does hit the fan.
Man, listen, I think we're just gonna slow pace and walk. You know how like cattle get corralled into like the slaughterhouse?
Mm-hmm.
What it feels like.
You feel like?
Yeah. It's like we're just kind of being corralled a bit. And then after a while, they'll just start to go, you know, like just move us in the right direction. They'll poke and prod. And before anybody realizes it, because there's so many different things that like people are going against. And like, that's the thing though, is like, you know, we were having the conversation about your room and I was thinking about like the fact that like you have a lot of Barbie things in your room and just how people are so divided on like a fucking make-believe toy by Mattel that was created by, I believe, like a stay-at-home mom.
It was, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's a made-up mom. And like there's so many different like forms of Barbie. And at the time, it literally was to show little girls, hey, yeah, no, Barbie's all over the place. Like there's all types of Barbies, all types. You know what I mean? And then it's just fucking stupid. But people are like boycotting this shit. Like people are talking about like,
well, it's because of the movie. It's because of the movie. And people are, you know, trying to be all fucking gung-ho and like either far left or far right, or like the message in the movie, it was too much feminism. Like they're trying to erase men.
Oh, dude, it's let's see. We could talk if we really wanted to break down the context of what's been talked about within like the last month. So you've got people mad about a fictional character, right? That was created by a stay-at-home mom, partnered with a toy company and sold billions to all your kids and your wives and your girlfriends and their moms and your aunts and all of that, right? Black, white, yellow, brown, doesn't even matter. It was going down. Barbie was all over the place. Like Barbie was so popular. Yeah. Barbie was so popular. They had knockoff Barbies that they sold at like Dollar General and shit, right? So let's stop the foolishness. One. Number two, people were also upset about, you know, a country singer that knew what he was doing and panders to a lot of people in whatever sect or whatever. He's a grifter, bro. He's a grifter. Jason Aldean. Fuck that guy. Wears eyeliner. He's from like a big city, bigger city that has like over 250 to 300,000 people. So that's not really a small town. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Also, decided that he wanted to put protesting and all this other shit, which is you know, one of our amendments that we have. Like, you know, you have the right to free speech and you also have the right to protest, yo. Like people don't even know that shit, but you know, he wanted to talk about that. And the reason why more often than not people were actually outside protesting is because you were treating minority citizens like second-class citizens, which you still do to this day. But you guys think that because we talk about racism, which it's been ingrained into all the wherewithal of the United States, that people think that you are naturally against the country. So everybody's had their say about Jason Aldean. What else was also going on? Fucking UFOs, all this other shit. Like the UFOs, which we're gonna get back to, it's just the fact that like there's a whole bunch of dumb shit that people were mad about. People were talking about trans people and the trans community. Everybody's all pissed off. Long story less long. if the fucking aliens said it was a wrap and they wanted to go full Independence Day on us and like wipe the slate clean, would any of that shit that y'all been mad about fucking matter?
Well, I have a rebuttal to that. No, wait.
What?
Say that last part again. Say the very last thing you said again.
I said that if like they decided they wanted to go full Independence Day, meaning we're just gonna, flock to your planet, harvest as much as we can, but we gotta eradicate y'all because you're the most dominant species there. And what that means is we're gonna terraform all this shit too, and we're gonna zap all this drive. We're gonna take it for our own, but we're gonna get rid of y'all, type shit. Or I'll do you one better, AI, right? Because we are trying to create sentient beings that can think for themselves, which many people are using, like, technology, which fucking John Carpenter, or whoever there was that produced fucking Terminator. Like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, if some shit decide it's a wrap for us, do you think that any of this shit that motherfuckers that have been mad about or arguing about on the internet or at work or whatever, do y'all think that any of that shit's going to matter if the Terminator experience happens or if Independence Day experience happens?
Absolutely not. But hear me out.
Okay.
I'm not scared of like an alien invasion. I'm not scared of a zombie apocalypse. I'm actually more scared of human beings, of how society will just be complete fucking chaos amongst these things. Because I mean, like, we've seen it in like what happens in like all these zombie shows. Fear the Walking Dead, The Last of Us, etc. It's not about the zombies. The zombies is not what you have to worry about. It's the people that want to rob and rape and take your shit, and right,
what I mean? Or feel like they're the only ones that should be allowed to have, right?
Exactly.
Because there's a lot of people in like those shows to where it's like, nah, we're taking everybody's shit, and you have to conform to us in our way of doing things. Otherwise, we gotta kill you.
Exactly. So else it won't matter as much. I mean, because the aliens ain't gonna give a fuck about that shit. I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican, nigga. I don't care.
Give a fuck about none of that.
Humans are inherently designed to, I don't know, be aggressive, be aggressive. Be
aggressive.
That was perfect.
But all right, so let me change the thought a bit this way, right? Even though humans are so attuned into first player mode, right? Because they all of us seem to be attuned into first player mode. What we don't realize, and it took me a long time. I'm almost 40. I'll be 40 in September. So,
oh man.
Not necessarily. Aside from, the malfoot function, you know what I mean? Out here with a torn Achilles. Other than that, though, I feel like I'm in like prime me, if that makes any sense. And the reason why is because it's like I've just gained so much knowledge and experience in my own existence, but I can only tell you what that existence looks like from this avatar. Right? We're all the same person. We all understand this. There's only one race, right? Human. You just have a different avatar than any other person on this planet. So for you to think in such a small magnitude, right, in such a minuscule magnitude, versus the idea that we just got told that there are other non-human beings in existence in the universe, you should naturally think and believe that there are, or would happen to be, at least one other species that does not exist on this, planet that is alive and could in some way, shape, or form communicate with us, or have some type of technology that is far beyond ours. for them to even get to our planet. They have to. Duh. But yo, what? We're steady still worried about the pigment of somebody. Last time I checked, when white people walked outside during the summer, what was y'all doing before y'all walked outside? Y'all was steady trying to put on some tanner or lay out or, you know, turn the male sapien skin to a nice sapien. Almond, you know what I'm saying, to a nice almond color. It was peach a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But instead of turning into this microphone, which is, you know, lobster red, they would like to get a little bit more sun. So they would go and acquire more melanin from the sun. How is it that you can allow for your skin to get a little bit darker, but for some reason, you seem to have issue with someone else's pigment being in your vicinity? What? But they got aliens here, and you think you're going to be able to deal with an alien? You cannot.
You know what's funny is I feel like motherfuckers will be more tolerable of an alien than tolerable than a gay person or a black.
That's what I'm saying. Or a trans person. It's crazy. You're like, bro, what? Like, make it make sense to me. This person does not even exist in this. Like, they don't even have a mouth. It's just eyes and slits.
Well, that's what they want us to think that they look like. What if that whole reptilian shit of them aliens living amongst us shape? You know what the fuck I'm saying?
I know what you mean.
What if that's actually a thing?
Yo, first and foremost, we need to apologize to that lady on that plane.
Because what if she really saw what she said she saw?
Hey, we need to apologize to that lady on that plane. Because
what if
she sounded like she was wasty faced, she might have got alien taste. He might have put some blee blop in her drink.
What if? Right?
I mean, listen, I know that there's been a lot of alien activity. Listen, if people can believe in ghosts, then you should also be able to fathom that there are other interdimensional beings potentially. There are other beings that probably exist in some other galaxy. I just don't know what that means. Excuse me. I have no idea. I don't know what the future holds. I know that, like, when we were growing up in like the late 90s, early 80s, like I was born in 83. So, you know, I just remember thinking about like Back to the Future and what like the future actually was going to look like, all the stuff that was going to be in homes, which now you think about it, we're kind of there now, like having like a smart fridge, you know what I'm saying? Or having things that are automated. You've got robots that can clean your home. So there's a lot of different things that you can look and be like, oh, okay, yeah, this is some Jepson type shit. Now we're already thinking about and talking about like AI. What does that look like? Even though it's only on the scale of just like text, you've got some stuff that's video production or image creation.
I mean, it's dangerous. It's dangerous.
You're not wrong.
Dangerous. You niggas see iRobot? It's dangerous. It's dangerous. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Well, here's the thing. Like you said, and I'm going to go back to your point, right? And we can keep it pushing after this, is that I am more concerned with what is closest to me. And what's closest to me are things that look like me, right? People, potentially. So people, And it's not necessarily just saying like people that have like the same demographic, skin tone, anything like that. It's just people in general. I am more than likely to lose my life at the hands of a person in some way, shape, or form than I would a natural disaster, a car accident, you know, an odd bout with, you know, something. Like, even if we talk about stuff going into our food, like they've been putting shit in our food since we were kids. They've been putting shit in like what we drink, all this stuff like that. We've been massively consuming on like such a large scale. We've created endless amounts and tons and tons and tons, metric tons of just trash and waste, that so much so that they're floating like masses of trash on the surface of the sea.
It's pretty disgusting.
We're parasites. I am more concerned with a human than any other thing. So as far as UFOs or UAPs or ABC, I don't know. Shit. It's like the only part of the alphabet they didn't use. But I digress. I don't like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. How do you feel? Maybe I'm just
no, like we kind of said the same thing essentially. Like when I was like, I'm not scared of aliens. I'm not scared of, I mean, AI makes me a little bit uncomfortable. But again, I feel like, yeah, humans are the real threat to each other.
It could be right. So I think, sorry to cut you. So do you think that it's AI necessarily, or is it a human that utilizes the tool, which is AI right now, would be more dangerous?
I mean, how stupid are humans? You know what I mean? Like how many people, experts, you know what I mean? Like scientists, data scientists, engineers have like done interviews and been like, it's dangerous. I would highly recommend against not making robots, not making the AI, I highly advise against it. And you know what I mean? Motherfuckers are like, no, I hear your advice, but I'm not gonna take it.
Right. Still working on. Listen, girl, they just what was it? I was reading something on the internet. I was on Instagram, and I think there's like some prehistoric worm or something that has been like frozen in permafrost.
And they want to thaw it out. They want to thaw it out.
Scientists just thawed it out. Like, oh, we found this biohazardous material that has been frozen in time, and it just so happens that we came across it, so we're gonna unthaw it. Why?
Exactly.
Like, yo, who?
Exactly.
Why?
That's how the zombie apocalypse is gonna start. That's
straight up.
Fucking
we thought it was gonna hit in 2020 because they damn near got us up out of here with a kung fu monkeypox. I don't know.
Kung fu monkeypox.
I don't know. Listen, there's so many people that like, you know, would say some stuff. It was like, sometimes it's crazy, yo. It's super nuts, right? This is how stupid people are. It was like we flipped sides. So naturally, my conservative friends had like the most to say about science and enjoyed science and totally understood science. And it was like, well, it's spread all over the globe because, you know, the way that trajectory of wind and and you're like, holy shit, you kind of understand science, but like you would never talk to me about science when it came to global warming, nigga. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, but now you want to talk to me about science, and you're like, well, I just don't trust the fact that, you know, people are out here taking a vaccine that's only been, you know, created within like the last 12 days. I don't necessarily think that I would take it. I don't want to be a guinea pig. And I was like, you know what? You make actually very good sense of that. I remember the Tuskegee experiments and how Black people look at vaccines in a completely different manner and light compared to those of like the most in the United States. But also, I think it might be just as important to wear a mask if you were like, hey, there's some nah, man. But then you have like the people that don't even think that there's shit going on, but like people just randomly dropping dead at an exponential rate.
That's the thing, and we'll get into this in another podcast because I have
we will get
I
there.
have my conspiracies.
We will get there, and that's the thing too, is it's not necessarily conspiracy, it's just constructive thinking. Like you have to be able to question and theorize in ways that allow you to get to like, which is where most people want to be, is like ultimate knowledge. And it's not just the fact of like knowledge being that I know it, it's knowledge in how you utilize it going forward. And that's where people misinterpret and maybe want to argue. It's like, okay, well, you could tell me that you have some knowledge and understanding about this particular topic or subject, but are you putting it into action, or are you just talking it based on theory or principle?
I think that, I think not everybody has the brain capability, because even when somebody thinks that they know something, then you actually fucking know it.
It's okay to say that you don't know, though. Yeah, listen, shout out to my girl, because she has even said this to me. And there are times where, like, especially having and doing so many different podcasts, like there are times where people will ask me my opinion and I'm like, oh, I don't even have the credentials. But I also have gotten to a point now where I'm very comfortable in saying, I don't know. I don't know. I need to learn more about it so that I can have an educated thought, or, you know, a well-placed opinion about that particular topic or subject. So it's okay, but a lot of people don't do that.
I agree. I mean, a lot of people want to be a fucking know-it-all.
And there's also a lot of people that'll tell you something and they'll tell you exactly how much they know about the particular subject if you allow them to talk long enough.
So irritating, annoying ass know-it-alls.
That probably don't know as much as they think they know, but they're going to tell you how much they know. And you just have to keep asking questions, which will allow them to articulate and elaborate. And then if it can be backed by looking it up, because we all got smartphones in front of us. But
I mean, like you said, the ultimate goal, everyone's goal is ultimate knowledge. But unfortunately, we do live in the era of fake news, and someone could just, I could put something on Twitter right now, and it could be retweeted by 1,000 people, and it could be full bullshit, and those people will go back to their friend and be like, hey, I heard that if you go outside and eat grass twice a day, it's the cure for cancer. And like they'll repeat some bullshit ass information like that, because we live in the era where it's social media. It's much quicker to just look at what you see on your phone, look at something you see on Instagram, than it is to go pick up a fucking book or go do research.
True. But you also have different ways of thinking. Like, this is why I don't understand why there are a lot of people and individuals, and we got stuck in this particle loop of talking about humans, y'all. So bear in mind, just stay with us for a little bit. I think there are a lot of humans that forget like how you write like research papers. Like, how do you cite the text that comes to the conclusion of that opinion that you have to write, or that particular subject matter or topic that you have to cite sources. So you can't just go and look at like 1 or 2 or 3 sources. Like, you know what I'm saying? It just like you would write a research paper, and you have to have I remember going from high school where it was like you've got to have 4 or 5 sources of information, to going to college, and it's like you have to have at least 20 sources of information and cited references of work. You have to be able to Also make sure that you don't plagiarize any of the work cited, and you have to have all the, like, you see what I'm saying?
Oh, and you preach it to the choir, okay? You forgetting I'm a psychology major.
Right. So of course,
research papers I gotta write.
Exactly. So that's my thing, where it's like, yeah, we do live in the age of misinformation as much as we do the age of information. It's just, well, number one, what do you even know how to go about gaining the information? Number one. And number two, if I'm ever in a conversation with someone that I see lacks knowledge about a particular topic, then I know how far I need to go or engage. And I also know that if what's my end goal, right? I think it's something you said to us off mic earlier, right? You're like, what's the end goal? What's the end goal is, what am I trying to ultimately get out of the conversation? Am I trying to win an argument? Which really, there's a multitude of ways that you can do that. If that's your ultimate be all end all goal, I can say something on repeat until it makes this person ultimately fucking pissed that they are even having a conversation with me, which then I win the argument because I've gotten them so frustrated and they probably stormed off or some other shit, or look and like, I want to do the camera. You mad? Like, you see what I'm saying? So if that's my ultimate goal, or am I actually trying to have dialogue and discourse with someone and maybe they're just not knowledgeable, or they say, hey, I'm not as familiar with the plight of, like, for instance, and again, having this conversation with my girlfriend, it was like, hey, there's a lot of things that maybe I'm not familiar. I was talking about one particular person that has become a bit infamous on the internet. And I was like, hey, I just don't like, I said something, but I said it out of context. And I should have just said, like, hey, I'm not as knowledgeable about this particular person or the topic at hand. So really, I would have to learn or know more before I can ultimately come to a place of like, all right, maybe I'm going to give my opinion. And I was also at that point too, to where it's like, I didn't say that, but I did say this. I was like, you know what, sweetheart, I do apologize. And I spoke out of turn without having the knowledge that I should have had. And I appreciate that you helped me gain that knowledge, but I also am now familiar and a little bit more understanding of where you're coming from. So I hear you. Does that mean necessarily that I feel the exact same way that she feels? No, not necessarily, but she feels heard. I'm still of the mindset that I think it's more important to wait until due process takes its full, you know what I'm saying? Like, it rolls itself all the way out, versus like having, like, I need to quick react. Whereas where a lot of people are so quick to want to react, be heard, be the first, be all this, and they are the most ignorant, but they won't apologize about it. They won't say anything. So that is where I think common sense is not common within humans. And that's where I'm hard pressed to be more so concerned about a fucking alien than I am about humans that lack common sense.
Very well put. Very, very, very well put.
You know what I'm saying? We got long in the tooth.
Good job.
We got long in the tooth right there. But thank you, man. That was, see, listen, man, that was dope. But you know what I'm saying? Let's get on through this, Rob. Trump got indicted, y'all. Listen, he was a wild boy. But that man Trump got indicted. I think this is a federal court hearing. He himself has been quoted as saying, "This is a very very sad day for America." Oh, is it?
Right? Right.
I mean, I'm just kind of here. I'm just kind of here for the memes and the things and the peoples. But at the same time, too, I think that there's going to be a lot of people that are going to have a whole bunch to say, people that are going to celebrate it. And they're going to get in arguments with people. Just wait, yo. This is one of those things that we were just talking about. Your friends, your family, somebody on that you know through 6 degrees of separation is going to say something on the fucking internet, and watch what happens.
I have an unorthodox opinion, though.
What?
I know most people don't like Trump, and I'm not a fan. I'm not saying I like or I have an affinity for him or I would vote for him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying that sometimes he has the right message, but it's the wrong messenger. Like, honestly, I'm not going to lie to you. I agree with his stance on immigration, for example.
Okay. How so?
Okay. So, I mean, I definitely feel like we need to be stricter because name another country in the world, the entire world, where you could just pull up, you could just sneak in. I could just sneak in and be like, well, I'm here now, my niggas. I mean, I need healthcare, college tuition. I need housing. I'm here, niggas. I mean,
well, I think it depends on what they're trying. So I have to be an empath, right? So I have to play devil's advocate. It depends on what brought them here, the lengths in which they had to get here, and what it takes for them to do. And when I said this, and I've had this conversation on, other podcasts or Facebook Lives with people from my hometown, like, listen, I grew up in, Middletown, Ohio. So it's a small town. It sits in between Dayton and Cincinnati. And you would think, it being a northern state, that it's a little bit more progressive in regards to how things are or work. Not necessarily. It's one of the top. It was at one point in time in the last 2 decades, it was ranked in the top 3 dyingest cities in the US. You also had it to where its major contributor to GDP had moved production of its steel. It's a steel mill, and a lot of people were laid off. You had scab workers, you had union busting, pretty much what you were running into, a whole bunch of stuff there. So long story less long, it's a bit more conservative here. Even though it's like blue collar, it's like blue collar conservative, but like sports is like the thing, I guess. With the people that vote Trump or talk about it or immigration and the way that they argue, it's a few things to me stand out. It's that they can't fully give you knowledgeable information. They just tell you that you need to know, right? Versus being empathetic. And then in the same breath, they will tell you that their family member twice removed is 1/16 Native American, but they also have Irish heritage. Like, bro, what? Okay, so let me back up. How did you family get here? Well, they immigrated here. Okay, what did they have to do? The immigration has probably changed. Like, there have been a lot of changes to how you can migrate and move into this country. I've had friends that I played soccer with and coached in soccer that for them to get their documentation and their papers to become a U.S. citizen, when they were years into a marriage with a U.S. citizen, it still took them. Like, I think one friend, Jason, it took him 13 years. And then I think it was my friend Tatunda, who's I want to say he's West African, took him 12 or 13.
So let me back up. I don't have a problem with immigrants at all.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that you are.
I just feel like it should be done the right way. Like, I feel like, it should be done the right way. If I'm paying the fucking taxes, you should be paying fucking taxes.
Okay.
To live here.
that's where I asked this question. What do you think that you were paying more in taxes because you were also taking care of the well-being of someone else?
I mean, essentially, yeah, it might not be immigrants, it might be Social Security, it might be etc. But
well,
technically, yeah.
So while I'm with that, and I'm with you, I'm totally with you, and I agree, because there are things that, like, certain policies of like particular, like, most people don't even understand that, like, you are more than likely going to vote against your own party if you strictly just stay on one side of the line, right? And all you do is vote Democrat, or all you do is vote Republican. You are eventually going to go against your own interests, point blank, period. Because, like, most people on the right would say is that, oh, well, they were saying this earlier when Trump was going into office. We need to drain the swamp. We need to drain the swamp. He was pretty much putting all his friends into places of power and all the particulars, but he had a revolving door of people. You have to think about how much that costs taxpayers, that you have to then, you remove one person from a position at that high of a level, and then you have to put another person into that position to take over. You have to retrain them in, you have to keep them, bring them up to speed and bring them up to, that's just like a corporation or Fortune 5 pays for like a training program. That costs money. That's taxpayers' money, just as much as like it would be if you have somebody that's crossing the border illegally, according to like and for real, let's put it like this. All this shit is fake, bro. All this shit is fake. The fake drawn lines on a map, like they are reshaping maps every single day for like voter suppression because they want to control power. And this is talking about people that are Republicans. Republicans have done multiple times where they've done gerrymandering and reshaping of voting maps and zones so that they can get more votes, so that they can secure their ways. Republicans have done it. Democrats have done it. Like, come on, y'all. Two-party system has failed. It is a failed project. We don't even live in a democracy. This is a republic.
I mean, not a topic for another podcast. I got a lot to say about that.
But that's what I'm saying. So in regards to, like, ultimately, I understand that you're not necessarily saying you're against immigration. You would like us to see maybe better laws put into place so that maybe those that are going about it the right way, it doesn't take as long for them.
Correct.
Right? Because it's crazy in regards to the wait time and the policy. And you can be on a student visa. You could even go on to get married, which both of the two folks that I brought up did. Like, we're on student visas, got married, then got U.S. citizenship. But it took them 5 to 6 years, maybe 7 or 8 years of marriage after being here and an expired visa, and they finally get their papers of documentation that they're U.S. citizen. So it shouldn't take that long. I agree. I do think that there are ways that we can improve about our system that we have in place. I think if anybody's seeking asylum, then there are places or measures in place for them to do so, which they are allowed to do. And like, y'all really shouldn't be too brash about who and what, because a lot of folks' ancestors would not be in this. Like, you wouldn't be here if your ancestors weren't allowed. Now, I personally can tell you that I have a lineage that was acquired by force, and I ended up here in perpetuity because of said migration, i.e., slavery. But I also got a part of my lineage that I don't even know about because of, the great native genocide. So there's that. But we talking about laws that got put in place by old white man that owned slaves. That is perpetuated and dictated by old white men that are having strokes while standing in front of the podium. And you know,
you want to tangent now. You want to tangent now.
Sorry. Not sorry. Okay, but yes, back in again to Trump. What are your thoughts? What do you think? I know there's a lot to unpack and unravel. I think this is a myriad of things. If we're talking federal, this is in conjunction with January 6th rigmarole that happened on Capitol Hill. Is that right?
I think some of it's from that, and I think isn't it some of it from like the documents that he had at his house or something like that?
So there's also some legal documentation, efforts to overturn the election. Let's see. Following the live updates of Donald Trump's appearance in federal court Thursday.
Oh yeah, it was about the election.
Right after he was indicted by the
2020 election. Yeah.
Indicted by the Justice Department for his efforts to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election. It's the third criminal case brought against a former president as he seeks to reclaim the White House. I still don't even understand how he can even potentially run. Last time I checked, if you spark treason, like treason. If you spark treason, you're considered an enemy of the state.
Yeah.
Republicans remain silent. That's one thing that we know. Judge assigned Trump case is a tough punisher for Capitol Hill rioters. These are things that we know. Breakdown of sprawling election indictment. Ooh, don't want to do that. Trump's lawyer hints at First Amendment defense in the January 6th case. This is all according to the AP News. This is a news article that we're looking at here on apnews.com. Let's see. And then finally, various cases involving Trump's stand. So he's got 3 cases already. Fuck a duck. That's rough, my boy. That is rough. But
I don't feel like anything's gonna happen to him.
I am at that point too, yo. Straight up. If I'm being quite frank, I'm at that point that like there's nothing that we've seen. My man is out here still giving out erroneous fucking interviews talking about this is the greatest economy ever. Yes, it's the greatest economy. I left it. And Joe Biden, that son of a bitch, talking wild.
He did. He do be talking wild. He do be talking out the side of his neck. He do. He's real crazy about niggas. He really do.
Here's the one thing that worries me about Trump, but I'm going to be honest. If I had to pick between Trump and Ron DeSantis, I'll take Trump.
I would
take Trump over Ron DeSantis.
Yeah,
the fact that we look at like what Ron DeSantis is doing and a myriad of different things, like he's taken donor money from white supremacist groups. The Board of Education in Florida has passed litigation and legislation on how they're going to teach slavery in the state of Florida. Like,
they're doing it. They just apparently got rid of advanced placement psychology classes,
right?
Because they teach about or touch on subjects as far as gender identity and things like that. Like, you're gonna eliminate psychology from school, like.
But that's the thing, though, is these are elected classes. Meaning, if you don't elect to take them, you don't got to worry about what's in that class. I really don't understand the concept, and this is to be quite honest, right? As much as like Republicans sit and scream in this echo chamber of you guys need to become more educated. Well, you're rapidly eradicating things that would allow for people to become more knowledgeable and educated about things that presently are going on and happen in the recent past.
Well, I mean, this the thing is like, but how stupid. I mean, it seems like a stupid plan to me, because unless you're going to also eradicate the entire African American population whose ancestors went through it, we're
right.
Continue to tell motherfuckers the real deal.
Well, let's think about it. Germans during the time post World War II paid out an enormous lump sum of money to all Jews, or to Jewish population during their genocide. So to look at it now and for people to think that slavery happened such a long time ago, but we still honor the forefathers, you get a little bit miffed if people talk about canceling the forefathers. Well, I don't understand why you want to get rid of these statues. Last time I checked, Germany doesn't have any Nazi memorabilia still up.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. Number two, I don't understand how or why there's so many things that you're seeing be pulled away. But part of the reason as to why, there's certain things like unions or weekends off because of unions, or, school lunch programs because of the Black Panther Party. You know what I'm saying? So if like you can't and don't understand the things that are at your disposal now, if you're going against what is in the best interest of the people as a collective whole. But I would much rather take Trump over Ron DeSantis right now.
For real though. That nigga's evil. DeSantis is evil.
Ron DeSantis is on another wavelength that I could not fathom if he became president, or the front runner for Republicans. But
you know what? It might end up happening. That's the sad thing. It might end up happening because you have a lot of people in this country who would like to see either Trump or Trump Jr. or somebody similar to him back in office.
Yeah, like a Trump Jr. back in office. You're right. You absolutely
a lot of people. Like I tell people this all the time. Outside of LA, New York, Miami, DC, all the major cities, the rest of America is mostly a vast wasteland of small ass towns with small ass ideologies and a lot of racist and bigoted people. Like outside of America,
fishbowl thought process.
Exactly. When you look at like a voting map, when you see like, who votes Republican, who voted for Trump, who voted outside of the major cities, that map is mostly red.
Absolutely. And that's the thing about it too, is that like, here's what I'll say, and we can kind of keep it pushing, right? Is that a lot of people, if you were to ask them questions, they're very outspoken with presidential elections, which happen once every 4 years, simultaneously, while having, like majority rule is being voted upon on the ballot right now in my state, which means that you have legislation that would not require it to have majority rule for it to pass.
Yeah.
Meaning,
Issue one. Yeah.
Right. Something could jump up and it only needs a handful of signatures in order for it to pass. And you have no idea in what that could be and what that could mean for you and your rights. And here you are worried about some other shit, or it's grafted in some way, or it's advertised, because I'm still getting all these erroneous text messages from these state senators or their teams. Listen, I do not consent. While I'm here, I don't consent to any of y'all sending me any type of number or whatever. And I will seek legal action if by the off chance you ever reach out to me in any way, shape, or form. I am going to send a cease and desist and immediate effect of a legal document that will send you to court. I don't care. I'm suing. Listen, if politicians can go get money by however means, donors, whatever, I'm able to sue whoever I want. And if you gonna come after my privacy and invade it, nope. It's over. It's a wrap. But yeah, y'all really need to start thinking about the fact that your local is just as, if not more important than who is in office at the executive level. Because there's only so much that person can do. Not only that, you also need to be self-aware about the people that you vote into your local and state senate and offices. They have the most direct impact on you. And the fact is that these people also make up the House and Congress. So if you don't go vote in state voting or local voting or things like that, then say goodbye to anything. If it's in concern to school levies, say goodbye to anything that's in concern to like local development. Say goodbye to any of that stuff. And then stop worrying about the shit that has to deal with like on a massive scale, on a macro scale in politics until it's time to pay attention to that. But you really do have to go look into and do your own research, which I fucking hate that cliche because people are just so stupid. But I'll be honest, like I go look up before I went to the polls and before I even voted, I went and looked up the policies of the people that I was voting for to see what it was and their stances on and what was on the docket, what was actually up. And like people don't even realize like things that are up for votes for legislation, which can potentially pass and have direct effect to you in your state, do not go, they go up in the mid years. Like, so that 2-year shoot, right? Think about the Olympics. You got the fucking votes, right? And then you got like the World Cup, which happens 2 years after the Olympics. That middle part, that right, you're paying attention to the World Cup, but then the Olympics come along, you got to pay attention to the Olympics too. That's the shit you got to pay attention to just as much as you pay attention to the World Cup. You dig what I'm saying?
I mean, it's valid. It's valid. Preach to him.
So I just don't know, and I'm sorry to get on like a soapbox and like totally overtake the convo. So I do apologize, but it's.
All right, enough politics. Politics.
All right, man. Speaking of legal troubles, you know what I'm saying? Lizzo is in the news. Shit. Listen, she released a statement. If you're not familiar with the pop singer who's known for promoting body positivity and self-love, is being sued by 3 of her former dancers alleging sexual harassment and creating a hostile work environment. Okay. Lizzo has responded after 3 of her former dancers filed a lawsuit this week alleging weight shaming, sexual harassment, creating the work environment. The last few days have been gut-wrenchingly difficult. And
you gonna read the whole statement?
Yeah, why not?
That bitch long as hell.
I'm not gonna read the whole statement. I'm gonna overwhelming, gut-wrenchingly difficult and overwhelmingly disappointing. She wrote on Instagram, my work ethic, morals, and respectfulness have been questioned. My character has been criticized. Usually I choose not to respond to false allegations, but these are unbelievable as they sound. And this is how she wrote this. They sound and too outrageous to not be addressed. Some grammatical error there. Anyways, she goes on, but she did leave a statement up on damn, she got a couple pages. We are not reading all this shit.
I told you.
Yeah, there's a lot. Former employees publicly admitted were told their behavior on tour was inappropriate and unprofessional. So she's countering them. As an artist, I've always been very passionate about what I do. I take my music and my performances seriously because at the end of the day, I only want to put out the best art that represents me and my fans. With passion comes hard work. All right, so it could be potentially a money grab. Some people are looking at it like this. It sounds like she's trying to refute that. And it's just too crazy for me not to say anything. So she's gonna jump out in front of it, or at least try to.
I kind of believe it. I kind of believe it just because there's been people who came forward who were not part of the lawsuit who said that they've encountered similar things working with her. Like there was a filmmaker that apparently got hired to do her documentary a while back.
Mm-hmm.
It was like another former employee that used to work with her, like a former dance captain or something.
Okay.
And they're not even part of the lawsuit. So they have no reason except personal reasons. To speak up because they're not in it for the money. They're not part of the lawsuit.
Got you.
So
that does put a little bit more smoke, more of a where there's smoke, there could be fire.
Yeah.
Okay. What if this is like the safest play that we can make here, right? Because again, it's just we're commenting on a situation that sounds and nobody wants to be in a hostile work environment. From my understanding is that a lot of her dancers are plus size dancers. Also the fact is that it's entertainment industry, which can be somewhat brutal, and in the same sense you look at like with what's going on with the writer's strike out in Hollywood as well. It's like people don't want to be in a work environment where it's detrimental to their mental health, their well-being, at the expense of, under the sun. So nobody wants to deal with that. Mm-hmm. So I can see that it does have, I'm not going to say necessarily that oh no, she's 100% innocent. I don't know, man. At this point, that's all. I just put my hands up and say, I don't know. We just gonna have to see when we see. We'll see when the evidence comes out. We'll see, after the lawsuit, if she gets taken to court, what that's going to look like. If she's going to choose to just settle, which could potentially happen. Right. I think the same thing.
Then settling is typically an admission of guilt as well. Oftentimes it is.
Oftentimes it is. I also think when we were just talking about Trump, I think that he's probably going to he's going to get off with something that has to do with fines or some house arrest or something. You know what I'm saying? But he's going to be able to skate himself around it because he owns a bunch of different properties. So he's going to be like, well, I've got a business meeting to in this place and I need to be in XYZ. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
So I think he's going to be able to get off by that. I think he's also going to be able to get off somehow. I feel like he got some type of lawsuit that required him to pay something. I think people saying that he donated his salary. That's a bold-faced ass lie. That man told you he donated that salary he got as president. He took that salary. He took that. That's all I'm saying. If his wife is still out here selling NFTs, just know Trump took that salary. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't even know they were still doing that for real. But anyways, But Lizzo, yeah, I'ma just wait and see type of move here, because you skate the line if you say, or you like sway or lean in favor, or like you side with Lizzo, then it's like you don't believe victims, right? And you can be seen as insensitive in that realm.
Mhm.
And then on the other hand, like, you know, oh, well, y'all are just going after someone that is, all about body positive. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can see like the opposite end of that argument. I don't know. Like,
I mean, I've always thought that, to me, Lizzo just do too much. She do too much. Like, I don't personally care all that much for her as an artist. I mean, of course, I don't know her as a human being. Like, I don't, next door to me, of course, I don't really know her personally, but just by like her antics on Instagram, like all the like getting half naked, and like with the thing that she wore to the basketball game, and it was like kids nearby, and then turns around and cries on Instagram the next day and says, "I'm tired of y'all shaming me. I'm tired of y'all calling me fat, blah, blah." Like, it's just, it's giving, I don't know, it's giving a certain vibe. It's giving a certain vibe.
You're right. And I think it is a lot of sensationalism. I think it's a lot of like want to be out and like too much publicity, right? But I think we're also in like this state of like sensitivity today, where if you say something, you are looked at as being insensitive, or not not an ally, like all the keyword phrases, you know what I'm saying? Like all those things that people would say, and like people try to skate the line. I personally also agree that like there's a whole bunch of shit that I think that Lizzo does that's like fucking extra. Like, cool if you want to wear certain stuff out and that's how you feel, and whoop-de-whoop. Just know, when and I'm out and I pay to go to a game and I got courtside seats and you sit next to my son and you walk by or some shit, man, put your ass up.
Basically.
Now don't get mad at me.
Basically.
Look, my son is here. I paid just as much as you did. I don't give a fuck. I have it. It is First Amendment. I'm gonna get my First Amendment shit off. So fuck you, nigga. What we talking about? Now,
it was pretty nasty.
Now, if I said something, then you want to say something, you want to cuss somebody out, you want to call somebody out their name. Okay, just know, now that you have opened the hornet's nest, I'm gonna say something that I know can touch a nerve. All bets are off. Now, does that mean I'm walking around calling somebody out their name all the time, anywhere I go? If they happen to look like you, dress like you, woo-de-woo, all that? No. But if you get disrespectful after I say something to you because, you were in my vicinity and I said something. Wow. That looks tacky. What the fuck you said? That looks tacky.
It's the truth. That's what I'm saying. She be so mad about what people say on Instagram, but like, girl, it's the fucking truth. Don't nobody pay and watch your ass eat Oreos with mustard on them.
Listen.
Attention.
Right? So let's see. Too. Here's the one thing that I look at, and maybe I take this into account. I'm in a space to where potentially I could have a lot more eyes on me, which means that I could have a lot more criticism than I would normally if I were just to, work a job or whatever the case may be. But I know what comes with that. Now, does that mean I'm looking at all the things? No, not at all. Like, these niggas don't pay my bills. I'm not worried. But I do understand that, like, there are going to be people that say some things. It could potentially fall back on me to where I'm going to, like, fall in my shell. But I just have to be comfortable with myself. Does that mean that I'm going to walk outside with my ass cheeks out like Prince? No. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You remember that Arsenio Hall? That was crazy.
I do.
But we ain't even say nothing to Prince. We was just like, that's Prince, right? I know that's Lizzo, but also that's crazy. And I think that these entertainers be doing some wild shit because there's weird people out here.
It is fucking weirdos out here.
So best of luck. Good luck to the folks that best of luck to all parties involved. I hope it works out for the best. You dig what I'm saying? That's the best that I can give you. Let's see. Other news in the courtrooms. Mississippi police officer pleads guilty to racist assault on 2 black men during a raid. Okie dokie. So we'll run through this real quick. According to the AP News again, let's see, 6 white former law enforcement officers in Mississippi who called themselves the Goon Squad pleaded guilty Thursday to racist assault on 2 black men in a home raid that ended with an officer shooting one man in the mouth. I think that officer, they entered a fake warrant or some shit, right?
They didn't have a warrant at all.
Didn't let's see, according to the AP though. So without a warrant. Yes, absolutely. So I don't know how the fuck they did that, and this shit was legal. Entered a home without a warrant on January 24th, assaulting men with a sex object.
Yeah, that part was weird as fuck to me. You're a goon squad, but you assaulting niggas with dildos?
That's crazy. Using a stun gun, other objects to abuse them for roughly a 90-minute period. Court documents show. One victim was shot and wounded in a mock execution that went awry. Damn. Document says officers conspired to plant and tamper evidence instead of providing medical aid. That's fucking crazy. Yeah. So the Justice Department launched a civil rights probe in February. Where are we at right now? August? Yeah, I think they should have probably. Yeah. So, Attorney General Mississippi office Thursday announced that it filed state charges against the 6 officers, including assault, conspiracy, and obstruction of justice. That is fucking gross. Put all them niggas under the jail. Whatever they did, I hope they get it 100-fold wherever they go. And if they are, for whatever reason, unalived, oh no, that is terrible. Anyway, right?
No, they need to get they need the same treatment. We need to go back to like the medieval ages or whatever that shit was, where it's like if you steal.
Ooh, I don't know, girl. They was having witch trials for motherfuckers that, like, you know.
Okay, well, not that extreme. Stuff you can prove.
Right.
You came and robbed my store off with your hand. Cut your hand off. Like you stole, you snatched my grandma purse. Cut your hand off. Like we need to go back to an eye for an eye type of shit. Like,
damn, everybody would be blind if we lived like that.
You know what the fuck I meant.
No, you're right.
They should have put them niggas in a jail cell and let some niggas come in there and assault them with some dildos and torture them.
Crazy.
And shoot them niggas in the mouth. And then well, we might be able to call it even.
Absolutely egregious. But you're not wrong. You guys are gonna have to pay for that. I don't know who, what, when, where, or how, but it should happen soon. You know what I mean? It should, for sure. I know
exactly what you mean, Mike.
All right then. So prayers up to the 2 gentlemen that had to deal with that. And I hope that they, are able to get justice for that incident as well. But in lighter news, let's wrap it up in the courtroom. Cardi B won't face charges for throwing her mic into her crowd during her show in Las Vegas on Saturday. The case has been closed and as having insufficient evidence, even though we all saw the shit on the internet.
We did. But fuck that. Because people need to stop thinking just because people celebrities they can't pop the fuck off. You shouldn't have threw no drink on that woman. Fuck you. I would have did the same thing.
I wouldn't have been mad. I would not have been mad.
Fucking with me. That was you got off easy with the microphone. Fucking with me, I would have kicked your ass in your forehead.
Man, listen.
Me.
Listen. They damn. What's crazy though is like I don't even know how she got a big gulp in there anyway.
That was a big gulp? I thought it was
just looked like a big gulp, yo. It looked like a big ass styrofoam cup, and she just flung that shit and still had some shit left in it.
And like, what was the reason? What was the purpose? What was your reason? First of all, you that close to the stage, so obviously you's a fucking fan. You wanted to see Cardi B, and then, bitch, you pay for that drink. I'm pretty sure it was alcohol in that. Oh, you didn't want your drink.
Well, I see, and that's what my thing is like. Did she like fling because she was like turning up? So I'm thinking like, but that looked like a fling.
It was a fling. It was a fling.
It looked like a fling, though.
It was for sure a fling. For sure.
And then here's the funny thing. And so after she did it and Cardi threw the microphone, she was like, I'm sorry.
I know she was.
Like,
cop that plea real quick.
And then I think the case though is because the microphone hit someone else.
I think so.
Not the girl that flung the water.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is that I understand why the case and it's insufficient evidence is because they just see the microphone hit the girl, but nobody can see if whomever filed the lawsuit, they can't tell if she got hit. So I think that's why they're saying it's insufficient evidence here. So, but that shit is hilarious regardless. Cardi B.
And don't forget the mic is on eBay. If you guys want to bid on that, it's on eBay right now. The current bid is $50K.
Damn.
So you got a 50 bands you willing to spend?
Yo, hey, anybody listen. I'm gonna tell y'all how to hit a lick right quick, okay? Somebody that lives in Las Vegas, go to Sam Ash or wherever you can get your musical instruments, right? You get you a nice wireless microphone that looks similar to the Cardi B microphone. You put a little tape around it, right? Because I think it has some tape around it and shit. And then you put it up on eBay, right? And you put it up for auction. Say $100, $1,000, whatever. Cardi B. Highest bid, started at 100, see where you can go, or at least double your money for whatever the cost of the microphone. At least that. I'm just saying, I'm not teaching you how to hustle. I'm just telling you, don't hustle backwards. You dig? That's all I'm trying to help y'all do. But $50,000 is fucking crazy.
It's a little wild. I think they was trying to say it was gonna go to charity or some shit, but I don't know.
Y'all got me fucked up. First and foremost, I don't care. I love Cardi B, but I don't care enough about her as a human being to go purchase a microphone from her. Now, could I find like something that would be worth $50,000 is like if Leo Messi's like World Cup jersey was $50K?
No.
I'm totally paying for that. No. If I had the $50K and it was a World Cup jersey, but I know I could get some stuff with that. Yes, there are other places and things that but if I had expendable $50,000 and a Leo Messi jersey, it would make sense to me to be like, you know what? Fuck that. Let me go ahead and get that. But a Leo Messi jersey right now, I still should be able to get for like not $50,000. It's fucking crazy.
A lot of money. It's a lot of money.
But shout out to Cardi B, sis. Glad you ain't got to deal with no legal litigation or none of that. Now,
because you've been in court enough this year.
Straight up. But she been winning. She won one.
She been winning. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We can't just be. I just know you tired of the courtroom.
Yeah.
I know you tired of the courtroom. But shout outs to Cardi B. With that being said, I think we are getting a bit long in the tooth. But before we get up out of here, you know what I'm saying? First and foremost, let me get some queued out music. You dig? Number two, let me also thank my guest, Lala, Madame. I'm so thankful that you have come this way. You have joined me on this podcast, and you have been such an amazing guest. So thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it.
Can I ask, where can the people find you?
Well, you can find me on Instagram at Penthouse Hefner. And again, that's Penthouse Hefner, like Hugh Hefner. My Snapchat is the same. My TikTok is the same. And yeah, just holler at me. Slide in the DMs. No, I'm just kidding, don't really do that, but
hey, you gotta chill out. Hey, but yes, make sure you give her a follow on all social media. I liked it so much and had so much fun. Ma'am, you are always invited back here. I may even have you once again if you are free next week. You are more than welcome to join me once again. Again, man, this is like ESPN.
That'd be fun. So much fun.
Yes, thank you. This is like Sports Center for the culture, yo. There's so many things that we could cover here, but I think what's most important is just kind of focusing and highlighting things in and around the culture that are important and maybe we need to pay attention to if you are not paying attention to it. Y'all, I'm A-Hun the Shogun. You already know where you can find me. A.Hun.the-Shogun on Instagram and Facebook fan page. A.Hun the Shogun on Snapchat. And yeah, you can also find me on Twitter. A_Hun_the Shogun. Make sure you like, share, subscribe this podcast. This is episode 58 of the C.D.B podcast. Also on the C.D.B network, C.D.B multimedia. If you listen on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or Google Podcasts, give us a 5-star rating. We appreciate you. That will actually help us out a bunch because that'll help us to be heard by more people across the globe. We just need more amazing people like yourself just to hear us. You know what I'm saying? Why keep the magic to yourself? Allow this greatness.
Don't be stingy.
Don't be stingy. Don't be a stingy ass nigga. We don't like stingy niggas, man. We out here sharing. You dig what I'm saying? Sharing greatness. SpongeBob, before we get up out of here, if you could, sir, can you do me a favor? Let the people know how much we appreciate them.
Thank you for your patronage.
Appreciate that. Listen, y'all, we're going to be back next week. Episode 58 of the C.D.B podcast. I think, what is it? Something, attention. Oh, shit. I got to go back and listen now. I got to figure out what the podcast episode name is. But anyways, I'm joined.
Ain't shit equality.
Yeah, ain't shit equality. There it is. Right? Ain't shit. But again, joined by my lovely, amazing guest here, Lala. Appreciate you, Queen. I will see you back here once again next week. We'll figure out logistics. But
Absolutely.
man, have a wonderful evening. Everybody listening at home, thank you very much. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. We out this bitch. You know what I'm saying? Bye.